NASCAR makes their prestigious return to the Indianapolis road course, and what a race it was. It wasn't as chaotic as last year, but there was a lot of things with turn 1 takeouts, a driver using the access road, a lot of spins, everything happening, drivers angry at each other. We have a lot to unfold after the Indianapolis road course race. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Verizon 200 from the famed Brickyard here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What a race it was, literally. It wasn't as chaotic as last year, like I said earlier, but it was still chaotic nonetheless. We had the turn 1 takeouts, especially we saw that in turn 1. We had a big crash with Larson and Todd Gillen. We'll talk about that later. We had some drama unfold between Kevin Harvick and innocent Alex Bowman, and we've had so many other things with Reddick and Blaney and Bell and then Chastain using the access road. A lot to unfold. So in today's review, we're going to be reviewing our top 10 finishers, and we're going to rate the race. After that, we'll look at our biggest story of the race. It won't be that long, just like a miniature story. And then finally, we'll look at our playoff grid, also our drivers of the day, and then that will end it from there. So let's go ahead and get on into this review. Finishing in first was Tyler Reddick. What a win it was for Tyler Reddick and the A-Team. Reddick was able to get his second career win today, second win in a row on a road course, and he also won in the same scheme where he got his first win back at Road America, so really cool right there for 3Chi. And also, this is the first win for RCR at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway since Ryan Newman did it back in 2013 when he won the Brickyard 400. So really cool for RCR to get back into victory lane at Indianapolis. I mean, they have a bunch of history here with Dale Earnhardt getting a couple wins here in the past, or I just believe one win. And then also think of Paul Menard back in 2011. So really cool for RCR to come back in the victory lane. Also, Reddick started on the pole, finishes in the front, but he didn't win any of the stages. He pitted at the end of each stage, just like Chase Elliott did back at Road America. So that strategy seems to unfold pretty good. So maybe whoever's in the lead could do that at Watkins Glen in a couple weeks. And also for Tyler Reddick, he was catching Christopher Bell just like that at the beginning of the final stage, because Bell was trying to save some fuel, but Reddick was able to take the lead and obviously got the win. He had to battle with Chastain a bit at the end, but hey, Chastain took the access road, so good thing it wasn't reminiscent of last year where the driver who's penalized took out the race leader. So everything was good there. Reddick gets the win, so congrats to him and the A-Team. Might have been a bit awkward because, you know, he's leaving at the end of next year, so hopefully him and Richard Childress could still shake on it and drink a beer and, you know, celebrate. Hopefully it wasn't too awkward, but good for Reddick. And also, hopefully he doesn't get DQ'd, because the last time we saw a driver's kid celebrate with them at the start-finish line, they got disqualified. So hopefully it doesn't happen this time. Please don't let it happen, NASCAR. Finishing runner-up was Austin Cindric. Another strong day for Austin Cindric. The last couple weeks really didn't play into his favor, especially last week at Pocono where he spun out pretty early, but really cool for Austin Cindric, who's been kind of on a roll as of recently. I mean, practically since Sonoma. Literally, this is what the 5th top 10 finish for him in the last 7 races. That's really cool. And another top 5 because he just got one at Atlanta when he finished 3rd. So really cool for Austin Cindric and the number 2 team. Also kind of weird how Reddick started first, he finishes first. Cindric starts second, he finishes second. So that was kind of weird right there. But Cindric had a really good day. So it just shows that he's also an ace on the road courses. Like he finished 7th at Road America, finished 5th at Sonoma, and at Coda, I believe he finished 8th. So he's had a nice top 10 run on the road courses. Let's see if that can continue at Watkins Glen in a couple weeks. But next up is Michigan, the Ford powerhouse for Cindric's team, but a nice strong run for the 2 team. Finishing in 3rd was Harrison Burton. What a race for Harrison Burton. I mean, literally, at one point earlier in the race, he think he wheel hopped. I don't know. He blew the corner and took out Cole Custer at one point earlier in the race, and somehow, someway, he's all the way up to 3rd place and finishes there. I mean, he started 13th in this race. He had a pretty good qualifying session compared to other qualifying sessions where he would start like 23rd, 27th, 31st, or 28th or something. But really cool for him to start 13th. And literally just a couple weeks ago, he got his first career top 10 at Atlanta, and now just a couple weeks later, he gets his first career top 5 here at the Indy Road Course. Really impressive run by the number 21 team. Hopefully we can can see some more momentum coming out of him and Todd Gillen, who we're about to talk about next. Hopefully we can see some good momentum out of those two rookies heading into the end of the season, because I'm not sure who's leading the Rookie of the Year standings. It might be Gillen. No, it has to be Harrison Burton, because this is this is the second top 10 of his career, but a really strong finish for the 21 car. Finishing in P4 was Todd Gillen. Really, these two rookies have been really impressive, especially in the last couple weeks. Like, Todd Gillen just today in the final stage, I believe, it was around pit stops, led his first career laps in the Cup Series. And I remember just a couple weeks ago, Harrison Burton led his first career laps in the Cup Series at Atlanta. But a really impressive weekend overall for Todd Gillen. I mean, literally, coming into this race, his best career finish was 15th at Darlington early this year. And now it's 4th place. Really impressive run. I mean, all weekend long. In his group, I don't know which group it was, Group A or Group B. In his group, he qualified top 5, and then into the main qualifying session with the other 9 other drivers, he qualified 9. So really strong performance by Todd Gillen, and was able to get a nice solid 4th place finish. So really good for Todd Gillen, showing that he has some Cup Series strength, and we could possibly see him back in this car in the future. I'm not sure about next year, but hopefully we could see him run some more Cup Series races, and hopefully we could see him do better as the year progresses. But a nice strong run by the 38 team. And it's kind of weird showing this 38 car, because I have not shown this car this season at all yet. It's been a while. I haven't seen this car up here since last year when Alfredo got a top 10, even if he got one. And rounding out the top 5 was my boy Bubba Wallace. Finally, Bubba Wallace gets not only his first career top 10, but first career top 5 finish at a road course. Thank the stars. It has been overdue, because Bubba Wallace, I actually thought he would be a decent road course racer when I first got introduced into Bubba Wallace's career, but that wasn't the case. I mean, literally, Bubba Wallace has not had a good history at road courses. Coming into this weekend, his best finish on a road course in his career was like 12th or 14th, but coming into coming into this race, from the road course races this year, his best finish was 35th at Road America. They have struggled so bad. 36th at Sonoma, where his engine blew, nothing of his own doing, and then 38th at Coda, where he had that tire fall off. Really bad. But these last couple weeks, he's been strong. He got 3rd at New Hampshire, he got 8th at Pocono, and he gets his first career top 5 on a road course. That is 3 straight top 10 finishes for Bubba Wallace. Him and his team are on a roll. Now, it's kind of showing to me that his team is starting to peak a bit too late. Where was this early in this season? Like, come on. But we'll see how they'll do at Michigan. I think Bubba Wallace will do pretty good, because that track kind of sort of races, or should race like a super speedway. But we'll see how the package will be in effect at Michigan. Should be sort of like Auto Club in a way. But a nice strong top 5 finish for the 23 crew. Finishing in 6th was Joey Logano. These last few races have been very tough for the 22 team. Ever since Nashville, where they finished like 9th. Like 27th at Road America, 26th at Atlanta, 24th at New Hampshire, 20th last week at Pocono, and finally gets a nice solid 6th place finish. This probably happened because of like the crazy restarts happening at the end, because he had like a top 15, top 20 car at best, and he's not really a road course guy. Literally, his one and only road course win was when Harvick ran out of gas in the final corner at Watkins Glen back in 2015. So it was a decent result. I guess Logano will take it going into Michigan. I mean, he should do good at Michigan. Literally, he has wins there. He's like 3-4 wins there. So hopefully that would be a good race for the 22 team. But the next gen car may prove otherwise. But still a nice solid top 10 finish for the 22. Finishing in 7th was AJ Allmendinger. Surprisingly for AJ Allmendinger, this was his best finish of the season. But first of all, I just want to say, I hope he's okay. I saw him like just get out of the car. He was just on the sidewall just panting. I'm not sure. He was completely dehydrated. So if there are some of you out there saying like, oh, NASCAR isn't a sport, it's a really physical, tough sport, because you have to be in a car that's like, especially in the summertime, that's like over 100 degrees, freaking burning in there for like 2-3+ hours. So it's really tough. But hope Allmendinger's okay. He looked dehydrated. They were putting ice and water all over him. His wife was helping. So hopefully he's okay. We'll check in with him later this week, see if he's all right. I don't know if he's running the race next week at Michigan, but I hope he's a-okay. Anyway, for Allmendinger, he had a really solid race. I mean, literally, he was really close to sweeping the weekend. I mean, first of all, early in the race, he got into the gravel. I'm not sure what happened. He just kind of got loose. Even Allmendinger makes mistakes. Even the road course king of the Xfinity Series makes mistakes. So you have to admit. But he won at the Indy road course race yesterday, and he could have swept the weekend. This would have been the first time that a Cup Series driver swept the weekend in Xfinity and Cup at a road course since Joey Logano 2015 at Watkins Glen. So it would have been really cool, but they kind of fell back after, I believe, Blaney spun out in front of Allmendinger, and Allmendinger was just carrying the 12 car and then moved him out of the way. But still, a top 10 result is a top 10 result, especially if it's your best finish so far this season. So really decent finish for the 16 team. Would have been really cool if they went back to back at the Indy Road Course, but hey, at least they got the win last year. And also, I hope Allmendinger is a-okay after climbing out of the car and he was just panning for his life. So hopefully he's okay, but a nice solid finish for the 16. Finishing in 8th was Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell does it again at a road course. 8th today at the Brickyard, and then 8th a couple weeks ago at Road America, and 3rd last month at Sonoma. It just shows that how consistent and good he is at the road courses. I can't wait to see how he does at Michigan, because like I said earlier, it kind of acts like a super speedway, and it might be reminiscent of Auto Club a little bit, but I'm not sure. We shall see. And then also Watkins Glen in a couple weeks, that should also be a fun one. So hopefully he has a good race there, but a nice solid finish for him. 2 straight top 10 finishes for the team. That is really good for McDowell. They still need a win. They could get it at the Glen, and if not at the Glen, then Daytona is their last hope. I don't even know how, but Cole Custer finishes 9th, getting another top 10 finish. I don't know what happened. I don't know how Cole Custer got a top 10. Like I said earlier with Harrison Burton took out Cole Custer at one point early in this race. And another point, Cole Custer was smoking really hard because he spun out all by himself, I believe, by that treacherous curb from last year. And so that happened. He started 24th in this race, by the way, and somehow gets a top 10. Like I said, late race cautions and the crazy restarts going into turn 1 possibly helped him into that favor. But matches his best finish so far this season. That's the 2nd top 10 of Cole Custer this season. So really cool, I guess, for them. Nothing else to say. Just shocked he got a top 10. And rounding out the top 10 was Chris Buescher. I don't know how Chris Buescher got a top 10. I mean, first of all, he started 16th, and I believe it was like nearing towards the end of stage 1. His car was on fire. And that was kind of likewise, because Byron, earlier this Friday, I believe, his hauler was on fire earlier this weekend, and the car was a little bit on fire. If you saw the video, there's a little bit of residue on the hood of his car, but they said the car was okay and stuff, and I thought it wasn't okay because I saw Byron qualifying. He didn't do so well, but then Byron in the race, he was running pretty well, so I guess the car was okay. But then again, Byron finished 31st because of that accident. So yeah, 3 Hendrick cars DNF in this race. Yeah, that's not good. But back to Chris Buescher. That happened, and a lot of things have just been happening to Buescher. A lot of bull crap since his flip. I don't know, I just feel so bad for Buescher. But that's another top 10, first one since Road America where he finished 6th. And also, I heard someone on Twitter, Slap Shoes, if you guys know him, NASCAR YouTuber, he said Buescher sitting in his car breathing in smoke and fire extinguisher fumes because if he gets out, they won't let him continue the race. God, that rule is stupid as hell. That is dumb. Like, if a driver needs to get out of the car for a little bit to get some fresh air because it's freaking burning, but they know they can still continue the race, that's dumb. NASCAR needs to enforce some of the rules, because like that's just a lose-lose situation. Either you get out of the car trying to breathe and stuff, oxygen, and you're out of the race, or you just stay in there and have to deal with it. So it does suck for Buescher right there, but he was able to rebound and get a top 10 because he was like a lap down, like what, a couple laps before that restart, or those other couple restarts. I'm not sure how he got a top 10, but he got a top 10. RFK looked like they were gonna have a down race because Buescher was looking strong, and then also Keselowski was looking pretty good, but Keselowski spun out 3 times today, so it looked bad for it looked good for RFK at first, then it looked bad, and then it looks somewhat good for Buescher getting a top 10. And now let's rate this race. Like I said earlier, I thought this race was a little bit better than the Road America race from a couple weeks ago, and I rated that race an 8.1. So, in my honest opinion, this race was crazy at first. Got a little bit sloppy at the end with the turn 1 chaos, and we had some strategy racing going out, which I'm starting to grow into. I'm starting to like myself. So, if I had to rate this race, I'd give it a nice solid 8.9 out of 10. It was a really solid race. I probably wouldn't give it that much of a 9 because, like I said, the sloppiness at the end. And I'm kind of pissed off that Harvick took out my driver, Alex Bowman. Didn't even do anything. Kevin Harvick's spotter said that, oh, Bowman took you out. No, it was Austin Dillon if you watch the replay. Or if it was Ty Gibbs, somebody. Also, speaking of Ty Gibbs, where did my boy Ty Gibbs finish in today's race? Because Kurt Busch, once again, if you guys heard, he was out of this race, so Ty Gibbs had to fill in again. And taking a look, Ty Gibbs finished in, I believe, 17th, so not his best career finish, but a nice solid 17th place finish, so good for Ty Gibbs. But like I said, I'm going to give this race an 8.9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. And so for this little section of the big story of the race, I want to talk about the Turn 1 chaos. Not everything that happened early in the race, but just how reminiscent this could have been of last year. So if you guys saw in the restart, Tyler Reddick had the advantage, and it was clumped up like as usual from the rest of the race, or from earlier in the race. And then I just see Ross Chastain zoom by taking the access road, and then after they cut away from the big chaos of, I think some driver spun out, yeah, Blaney spun out, they cut to Chastain and Reddick running side by side. I was thinking, oh no, please don't be reminiscent of Briscoe and Hamlin of last year. NASCAR did not say anything yet. They were unsure about what happened, because I didn't see a replay, but I was thinking, like, did Chastain just cut through? Because they said like Chastain just like missed the corner. So I was thinking, did he either miss the corner or he just took it because it was all clumped up in chaos and stuff. But I don't know what would have been safer, to take the access road or the whole clump mess. I guess the access road, in a way, possibly. But they were racing together. I was afraid Chastain was going to race Reddick a bit too aggressively, but he didn't race him that too aggressively, because he didn't know if he was actually racing for the win. He didn't get something over the radio saying like, oh, you're out and stuff. But all that happened, but Reddick was able to take the lead away from Chastain and held on. So, like Dale Jr. said, or Jeb Burton said, good thing Reddick took the lead away and Chastain didn't take the checker flag first, because, oh man, that would have been another like whole controversial thing or whatever. I'm done with NASCAR's controversial bull crap, but good thing Reddick did it. But just the Turn 1 chaos struck again. I mean, literally, we saw Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon took massive hits after Larson had a brake failure. That could have been a whole lot worse, but thank goodness those two are okay. And we had some other takeouts, like Blaney, I said, got spun out. Harvick got spun out at one point, and Harvick looked like he had another strong car. But this time, yeah, broke the toe link and tried to wreck Bowman, but he's too washed to even wreck somebody without having to wreck himself. So I hope Harvick doesn't make the playoffs. But literally, I'm just saying, when Bowman and Harvick made contact, I don't know, it looked like Joey Hand got into Harvick and then Bowman, or I don't know, but Harvick and his spotter were talking about Bowman. I don't know. That's why I'm kind of pissed off at Harvick. So I hope he doesn't make the playoffs. Literally, that he was like 80 something points out, and I was like 90 something points out. So hopefully he doesn't win. Well, in reality, I'm kind of cooled down from that. So if Harvick can make the playoffs, then whatever. I just hope Bowman does better in the playoffs. But I'm afraid about that. It's just been a terrible summer, okay? Terrible, terrible, terrible summer for 48 fans. But anyway, back to the racing. All chaos happened. Like, Chase Elliott even got spun out, and he even took out William Byron. And Byron's car, like the axle to his left rear was, yeah, that's why he DNF'd. So crazy, crazy day for Hendrick Motorsports. Crazy day for just everyone in general. What a mess. But Reddick was able to still get the win. Like I said, hopefully he doesn't get DQ'd, because you had your kids celebrate on the start-finish line. We saw what happened to the last driver that did that. Now for drivers of the day, first off with unlucky driver of the day, we're going to start with Kyle Larson. It just sucks for Kyle Larson. It was his 30th birthday. If he won today, he would have been the 5th driver ever, and it would have been like the 6th, 7th time that a driver's won on their birthday. Literally just turned 30. But then he had some issues. I mean, he was running just fine, but then out of nowhere, early in the race, Eric Almirola just took him out. I'm not sure. Almirola kind of blew the corner and jumped up the curb and took out Kyle Larson. I don't know what in the hell that was about, but it did more damage to Almirola, because that took Almirola out of the race, and they were trying to fix the suspension damage on Kyle Larson, and so they were able to get Larson back out on the track. But I would not be surprised that his brake failure was kind of caused by that. I'm not really sure if the tire had anything to do with this brakes, because that was like I believe the right front tire had an axle or suspension damage or something, and they were able to fix it. But then Larson had a brake failure, ran into Ty Dillon. It was a really bad hit. Like, if you look at it at slow motion, and stuff, it looks bad, but it looks really bad in just like regular motion. But oh my goodness, glad both of them are okay. Larson went to see how Todd Gillen was okay, explained everything, and Larson didn't even take an interview at the Info Care Center. He just wanted to go see what was wrong with the car. So I would not be surprised if something, the contact with Allmendinger early in the race had something to do with it. If not, then it might have been just something else. But thankfully Larson's okay, but it does suck how 30th birthday ends up like that. Underdog driver of the day has to go to Todd Gillen. I mean, I would have said Harrison Burton because this was his first career top 5, just like Todd Gillen. But Todd Gillen led some laps. He was actually a fast car this weekend, qualified in the top 10. It was an impressive weekend for FRM overall. Yeah, I just realized both of their cars finished inside the top 10. It's a really cool weekend for Front Row Motorsports. McDowell doing his stuff on the road courses, and we see an impressive run by the young hopefully rising star Todd Gillen. So hopefully we see him have some other good races at road courses. We'll see how he does at the Glen and at the Roval, but a nice solid finish for the 38. Comeback driver of the day has to go to Buescher. Like I said, like with 2 restarts, yeah, I think it was like before we had those last 2 crazy restarts, he was a lap down. He was a lap down like in 29th or something, and because Larson was like 30th, and he somehow, someway gets 10th. I don't know. And his car was on fire. He was still able to continue. He took in the fumes of the flames and the fire extinguisher, and he's out there getting a top 10. I hope he's okay. Hopefully some NASCAR medical training staff is making sure that he's okay and checking up on him. But what a crazy day for him. And even Brad Keselowski, like I said, he was like 30th, but he got like 20th. So that's a pretty decent finish for Brad K. But a comeback overall for the 17 team. And then, of course, overall driver of the day has to go to Tyler Reddick. Just like with Chase Elliott at Road America, it's Tyler Reddick. Led through both stages, led the most laps, started on pole, finishes on the pole, finishes in the lead. That's what happened. So, really good race overall for Tyler Reddick. A really dominating performance. First dominating performance of his career. Hopefully we can see some other things shine out of this 8 team throughout the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs. So here we have the playoff standings coming out of the Indy Road Course and going into Michigan next week. First off, we have Chase Elliott with his 4 wins, and then we have Chastain, Byron, Logano, and now Tyler Reddick, also with Denny Hamlin, all with 2 wins. And then drivers with one win, we have Larson, Briscoe, Suarez, Kurt Busch, Bell, Kyle Busch, Bowman, and then Austin Cindric. Then we have Blaney in 15th plus 121, then Truex still in the last spot in 16th plus 96. And next up we have the cut line right here, and then we have Kevin Harvick, that stupid mother. Almirola minus 156, Eric Jones minus 175, and then Bubba Wallace minus 213. So like I said, 3 drivers have to win. Harvick, yeah, he has to win. Yeah, that stupid son of a... Alright, I can't cuss. Okay, I can't cuss. But yeah, he has to win. Basically, Blaney and Truex still need to win. Just to be on the safe side, we have, I believe, 4 races left. We have Michigan next week, then we have Watkins Glen, then we have Richmond, and then we have Daytona. It is coming down to the wire. We are almost done with the regular season. Playoff time is coming up. Man, the season flies by. But let me know, who do you guys think will make it into the playoffs, and who do you think will not? Will this be the current playoff standing, or will someone from down here will make it? But we'll see. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We are at 191 subs, guys, so can we please get 9 more subscribers? We are literally almost to 200, so it would really mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate you guys who have subscribed and continued. My birthday is tomorrow, so that's really cool. I won't be making a birthday gifts video yet until I get my cars that I ordered, but then I should have a cool little video up this Thursday, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Also, you're going to check out my Instagram or gaming channel. Link to both of those will be in the description below. Uploaded a video on my gaming channel yesterday, F1 video, and I should be uploading a NASCAR 21 Ignition video yesterday. Should be uploading an F1 video this Tuesday, so make sure you guys I can't speak. Tune in to check in for that. But that's going to do it for today, so see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.